like what you said when you said you want the values to be aligned. I think that's very important for especially a long-term relationship, especially when you're finding someone. You want to be on the same page. During your dates, guys, do you ever talk about your values? I'm pretty sure I have a feeling you don't talk about it right away, obviously. You just get to know the person first, and then once you get more comfortable, then you talk about the deeper stuff. But have you ever talked about it, your plans and stuff? What are your values, first of all?
Holy, what are your values? Okay. Um, I remember, obviously in the very beginning for me, it's a lot of the stuff that I tell the other person or the other person tells me, they're kind of just superficial stuff. And then
Yeah.
eventually you kind of get to know them more, then you kind of go in a little bit deeper. Um, but then, yeah, like I think it just kind of takes time before you really get to know someone and like their values and stuff. I mean, like even like just a year into dating, like you never really know the person fully yet, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but in my experience, like dating now, it never really gets to that point where we talk about values. There's like hints of it, but it never really goes like any deeper than that. Yeah, for my
Mm-hmm.
experience right now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
For us, um, it kind of came in pretty early, actually, because both of us are super into family. So a lot of our conversations were family related too, because we both have gigantic families.
His is bigger. His is way bigger.
Mhm. So yeah, that being on the same page about family and just having some kind of similar appearances kind of helped with the attractiveness that she had that locked me in, that made me pursue it. No, but like that's true. I kind of prefer the deep talks first, but even still, like we're almost 7 years together and I'm still learning so much about her even now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I do I wouldn't like postponing or sending subtle hints. It's just because I just want to get to know as much as I can right now. Like
Hmm.
I like watching and reading things, so you want to binge so you get to know more about it, right? So that's kind of how I felt with like getting to know other people too, even my friends. And like being in a car, having those deep convos in a car
in the
hits
car,
different.
hey?
In a car.
Yeah,
Parked.
a
Not
parked car. Yeah,
driving. I
not
think
driving.
parked. Parked. That's one.
Those conversations hit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for some reason, hey? How about you, Melanie?
Yeah, I would say the same. I think when it comes to values, they like I don't think I at least for me, like I didn't really think about talking about values in particular. They just kind of come up. And like you don't start the sentence like my values are this,
Yeah, yeah,
but like it's more natural. Like
yeah.
you just talk about like your childhood and like things that are important to you, and then you kind of like go back and forth. Like you tell
Hmm.
the person this like your experience, and then they do the same, and then if they like are related or like
Hmm.
similar, then like that shows that you guys have like similar values, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like what's the opposite, it's like oh snap. I mean like differences are good too, but like it's just good to like listen to each other, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna ask
Totally.
actually, um, if do you guys believe in opposites attract, or do you think it's the similarity that holds the relationship together?
It's kind of a mix of both for
Yeah.
at least for me because we took the personality test and like we're completely opposite, right? She's more introverted. I'm definitely the more extroverted one, right? So, but because of like our personality traits are quite different from each other, after reading the personality traits, we're actually pretty compatible with each other too. So opposites definitely do attract, but um,
We have a lot of similarities too, though.
mhm.
So like, I feel like if other people looked at us, they would see us like being opposites. But once they get to know each other, like once they get to know us more as people, they'd find the similarities too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a mix of both. You have to have some sort of similarities, like got to be on the same page for it to work out. But I think that like being opposite of each other also helps because you get to learn something new
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
there, and that's kind of one thing that I like look for into in a relationship is that I'm learning something new from the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
influencing me in some sort of way, positively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I
And
feel like it'd be pretty annoying dating someone who's like exactly like yourself too, right? So like,
yeah.
ugh,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm already getting triggered.
She doesn't want to date himself.
I wouldn't want to date myself. Oh man.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the thing is with people, everyone changes, right? And that's what I really stood out to me when you guys said I'm learning about her, even though within 7 years, people change throughout that 7 years, and you're just discovering something new with your partner, and you're growing with your partners all over the years. So that's wonderful to hear. Um, I think in the Filipino culture, there's this thing where the guy must always pursue the girl. That's the courting and the ligaw, right? Do you guys think doesn't matter if the guy or girl makes the first move? Is there
Nope.
such a yeah?
mm-mm.
Can you justify your answer?
It's like
Expand
next
on
question.
it. Expand. Yeah. What are your views on it?
Just I'm just a strong believer in effort. So if you want something, you put effort, right? So that's essentially what it was. We both put in the effort. No one does it first, or I mean, one day I do it first, the next day she does it first, right? So
Mhm.
it's
Just
just
take turns.
yeah, it's all about the effort. That's
Effort.
essentially it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. Yeah. Obviously, it's different for me because there's no guy or girl in the
Mhm,
picture.
yeah, yeah.
It's just guy and guy. But
But there's
I
masculine, feminine, right?
right for sure, and
So
I think that like if you really want or if you're attracted to someone and you want to go for that person, you just gotta go for it. Like you can't just sit around and wait for the other person to make a move on you because what if they don't?
mm,
Yeah.
You'll never get to that. You'll never get to know or I don't know. You'll never know if the person likes you unless you really start make a move on them
Mhm.
and make that known that you're into them.
Mm-hmm.
and you're
So
also
Jake,
potentially not the only one talking to said person too, right?
Yeah.
Which is also
Hmm.
pretty stressful. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
if you want it, you put the effort.
Yeah.
So you're already
Shoot your
showing that
shot.
hey, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
can I see those moves, Jake? Those
Uh-huh.
moves. Can I see those moves?
No, oh my gosh. No, I don't think I have game, honestly. I'm pretty awkward when it comes to dating.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're not dating experts ultimately here. I was gonna ask like, what are the ways? But no. Okay, next question. Okay.
But I don't necessarily think there's like a right or wrong way. Like you just gotta do what works for you.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
what works for me in terms of dating might not work for some other person.
That's true.
There's really no right or wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think one way of getting to pursue that person is to get to know them really. To I think one way would be the love language, like finding that person's love language.
Yeah.
There's acts
Mm-hmm.
of service, affirmation. What else is there? Save me, guys.
Touch,
Physical, yeah, physical touch,
Touch. Um,
gifts.
gifts.
mhm, yeah,
Was that the five already? Did we say five?
What was the
I
one that
think
you
that's
said?
just four. But that's
Yeah.
being technical, but
Quality time, quality time.
Quality
all
time.
the time. Yeah, but I really think it's the getting to know and that person where you can show and find out how you would show your love for them and your effort, right? It's very different for everyone, and
Mhm.
that's a unique experience for everyone. So I know we mentioned a while ago about online dating, so we'll focus on that right now. What are the apps that, because our expert here, Jake, what are the
That's all
apps
you,
have you
Jake. This is all
This
tried?
you,
is
Jake.
all you.
This is all you,
All
Jake.
you go, Jake.
Oh, Jake, please.
Um, I mean, there's obviously the very popular app Tinder.
Tinder.
I think that's anyone can use that basically. Doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. And then I think there's also Bumble.
Yes, Bumble.
I've heard about that. And then just specific to like my community, like Grinder is also a thing. But that's yeah. You don't see straight people there, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard like plenty of fish or something like that, but I think that's old. That's an old like website or whatever. But most popular one would be Tinder, I would say.
And I think Bumble's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sugardaddy.com.
Yes.
I need one.
uh, a question from Kuya Rajan actually. What made you try online dating? And would you consider online dating a game of finding a significant other, or yeah, and why?
I'll go first since it's the only thing that I just think that it's just like in my community, I think it's just I don't know, it's just harder or like different for us because I can't really just go up to a person and try to flirt or make a move on them because you never know I never know how that person's gonna react. Like I always have this fear that they might like become all like violent or aggressive, or what if they're a
Mm-hmm.
homophobe, like there's always that fear.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, like using like dating apps, like I feel more secure knowing that I'm talking to people that are from my community.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. I don't think online dating is a bad thing as long as like you have clarity. I had friendships, online friendships that I didn't expect I'm gonna have, and it's genuine relationships that I didn't
Mhm.
expect. It was in Kumu, it's a live streaming app, and the more I talk to them, and the more I see that I have same values, same interests, and yeah, we're like, even though we didn't personally meet yet, I feel like I've known them for a long time already, and I treasure those relationships. So, yeah, were you guys gonna share something?
Well, not really relating relationship wise, but touching on the whole online conversations with people, especially because I used to game a lot. Those friendships made through gaming, like I never met them in person, but it's like essentially what you just said. Like those friendships that I've made through the all being online were some of the best ones I've ever had in my life too, right? So
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is possible, and it's just a matter of discerning whether these people are being true to themselves and their intention. And you just have to trust your gut whether they have your best interest. I
Yeah.
believe, right? Have to be clear at the start as well. I know there's this one person who told me she was she's Jubel, and she's like, it's not really bad to meet someone online since it's an instrument to meet anyone in life. Make your intentions clear to each other. The important thing is not to be in a fast pace and get to know the person every day.
Mhm.
And yeah, the intentions are clear. And she's like, plus walk with the Lord. Don't do it para sa inyo lang dalawa. Don't. She's basically saying make God the center of relationship. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think there's like this notion that it's like dangerous and just strangers, but how can you get to know someone if you're not talking to them, right? Like if you just
Right.
make them a stranger. So yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. What do you think, Jake, is a pro and cons of online dating?
Um, well, a pro for me for sure would be that I get to meet people like from my community. Um, and it's kind of, what do you call that? I don't know. I feel like it's less nerve-wracking for me to talk to someone online because you're not talking to them in person. Because I get really nervous when I talk to strangers in person. So that's a pro. Um, and then you just get to kind of meet people like from different cities. Like some apps allow you to do that. Like you can meet people from like Vancouver or like Toronto. Um, but a con would be, I was actually wanted to add on to the whole like earlier, like catfishing. Like that is
Oh yes.
definitely a
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
stumble
That's a
That's
upon
good.
good.
like,
Oh,
yeah, account
that's
that you think is legitimate, and next thing you know, it's someone else behind that screen. So I think, yeah, like online dating isn't necessarily bad, but you really got to think about your safety always, because especially if you're planning to meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one thing actually. Yeah, because it's so easy to also pretend, just easy upload a profile picture and pretend
Mhm.
text and talk differently, right?
Yep.
It's also different if it's in person. So, absolutely. So, knowing the cons, why do you think people still do online dating?
It's easy.
It's easy. I feel like it's like convenient. You can kind of
Yeah.
like do it at your own leisure, I feel.
Hmm.
Hmm. Do you think it goes away from the authenticity of a relationship or like a person? Like, do
I
you
don't
think?
think it necessarily takes away from the authenticity of it. Just because you're still building an authentic relationship between you and that other person still, right?
Hmm.
So um, it's just different because one of the big, especially for people being very sociable as a species, that lack of sociability in person is will hinder parts of the relationship, but not the relationship itself.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uriel asked this. Do you have a preference, Jake? Which one you like the most?
Oh, for the dating, honestly, I don't know. They're all kind of the same. Like I just mainly use Tinder because it gives you that. I don't know. It's just easier. It's easier to use. It's pretty straightforward, and like I said, you get to kind of change your location, um, and then meet people from different cities. But yeah, I don't know. They're all kind of the same thing.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just build on. I know Bumble. I think the girl initiates the conversation first.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, um, from coming from your community, Jake, like, what are your struggles, and if you're gonna speak for your community, what's like your main concern or like message, like.
Um. So like basically like obviously the LGBT community, like it's kind of seen as an outcast community. Um, but what's ironic is that within our community, there's still discrimination that actually happens. And you'd come across, like, if you, let's just say you were to use the app Grinder, which is more catered towards us, um, you'd see profiles out there that would say, like, don't message me if you're like black or you're Asian or you're fat or feminine. Yeah, like that exists. And I don't know, it really frustrates me because we're already being kind of we're seen as outcasts already, but then why perpetuate like discrimination within our own community when we're supposed to be just accepting of each other?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it seems like there's a hierarchy when it comes to like dating in the gay world, like the pyramid, and basically like the feminine ones, like people that are thick or um, Asian, basically, they're kind of like at the bottom. So I feel like it's a little bit harder for me to um, find someone out there, just because am a little bit more on the feminine side and I am Asian. But I'm not just saying this to kind of for people to say sorry for me. It's
No,
just
no.
like my experience. But I'm,
Mm-hmm.
other people feel the same way.
Yeah, and
Mm.
just be aware, just shedding more light to other people's experiences. I want them to become more aware and
Yeah.
just have some respect and acceptance. Right, love is not just in romance. It's just love is a friendship, family, and yeah. Thanks for sharing, Jake. Honestly, guys, thank you
Yeah, no kidding.
for being so
Yeah.
like vulnerable and open to share your stories and um for Mel and Abel, like I'll come back to you guys. What's your message for our viewers right now? If you remember, Melanie, what you wanted to highlight.
No, I didn't remember. But if there's anything I want to highlight, mm, I don't know. I just feel like for people who haven't been in a relationship, I always hear people saying like, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna find someone," or like, "Why is everyone like a jerk?" Or like, I feel like I would want to tell them like, you know what, like you're stressing out for no reason. Like it'll come when it's right, and like you can't you can't have that mindset that you're not going to find anyone, because obviously if you think like that, then it's not going to happen. Like you kind of just have to like just do you, like um whatever you're doing in your life, if you're in school or if you're working, like whatever goals you have, like just stick to them, and then like love will come. It'll come. You just need to be patient and like just don't force it. Like like you'll, if you're ready, like you're ready.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
I honestly feel much more kilig when you're not expecting someone to come into your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's one of the best moments too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Aw.
Absolutely.
How about you, Abel? Do you have a message for our viewers?
I'm gonna be very informal.
Go
No, what
ahead.
do you mean?
You do you.
um, I don't know, because with meeting people or with some of your friends already, what you know is very surface level too, anyways. So you can't just stick one bad experience with a stranger or someone you're trying to get to know, um, have that impact you in a way where it makes you want to stop pursuing or whatever. Because, like I said, it's very surface level. You don't know enough about them; they don't know enough about you to call it a quits. Um, but if you're comfortable with yourself, if you have your confidence within yourself, that's also an attractive trait that people see and would also want to get to know, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't be afraid of doing you, because if it doesn't work, like there's the analogy, you're just so many fish in the sea, right? You just there's literally millions of people in the world, and there's eventually one will be the right one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I super like when you said like effort. I think effort, consistency, and I think the main thing is being yourself, because
Yeah.
if and not compromise your identity, knowing yourself, um the right person will come and accept you for who you are without you changing a part of you. And yeah, it will come, guys, if you really want it and make effort.
Manifest. Believe in
Yes,
it.
really, yes. So I know right now it's hard, but it will come. Guys, I want you to promote yourselves, please. How can we support you?
Follow our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, subscribe, like, comment. Oh yeah, and follow her, Spotify.
Well, your YouTube channel's Mel and Abel, correct?
Annabelle, yeah.
And then you have an Instagram account. I'll put the links on the description box and the box. They have a the giveaway's ending soon.
Yeah, the
This-
giveaway ends tonight. So,
but
Mhm.
but stay
but who
tuned.
knows? Maybe there's another one. We'll see. We'll see. And then Jake, he is very talented. He
Oh my god.
dances. He
Take his dance
Take
classes.
a dance class, guys.
I've watched.
let's see his moves.
Not right now. Oh my
Booty
god,
pop.
it's been a while since I moved.
And photography. So Jake, come on, let's go. How can we support you?
Okay, so we're the studio is opening up this weekend. I teach at Drop a Dance Winnipeg. My time slot is Monday nights, but because I work in the hospital, my schedule I don't teach as often, so I teach once a month. One Monday a month at 9 p.m. and it's a heels class, but obviously you don't have to wear heels. You can just show up and
Wear Chanel.
whatever. Yeah, sneakers, whatever you're comfortable in. And I also have started my photography business. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's jakefabian.co, but it's spelled differently. I'm sure Margiela will just put it in the link.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Abel, this dance class is for you. I just know it. Alright.
I've watched.
Alright. But I guess before I end, like officially, for the lovebirds, like what's your message to each other? So we get that kilig, we end on a good
Yes.
note.
Message for each other. Oh my god.
I have to sleep beside her tonight. Oh, love you.
Look at each other like, what?
That's it. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay.
No,
Thanks,
but
guys.
this is chill. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
this is really fun.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
Aw.
nice meeting you, Jake.
It was nice meeting
Nice
you. Jake.
meeting you
It was
guys.
nice meeting you, Mel and Abel. Oh my god, it rhymes. Mel and Abel. Hey.
Thanks, guys, for joining me. I really appreciate your help, and I admire your honesty, your braveness, and so I'm just so blessed. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys again whenever. Hopefully in person. We can do a podcast in person, right?
Yeah.
Next time.
I am down.
Come back again.
Down.
For
Good.
topics.